Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Decoded, your live online talk show hosted by Code Red Flag TV and Jersey Films. I'm Labella Esquire, also known as Dina. Tonight I have a show for you. We're going to talk about dating the strong, independent woman. We have our guest with us, Mr. Robert Ballatt.
How are you?
Hi, Robert. I brought you on here today because you have a wonderful article that I've seen got a lot of hits on Facebook, and then Huffington Post picked it up because it went so viral.
I'm grateful for that.
Yes, God is good all the time.
All the time.
And it came from a different aspect that I'm not used to, and most of my followers aren't used to, because I definitely shared the link on my Facebook page. And it started talking about what men need to do to date the strong, independent woman. What made you like an article like that, Robert?
Well, it came out of the same situation, me dating a strong, independent woman. One of the things that caught me when I woke up, I had this epiphany. A lot of times, the strong black woman, it's not that you guys can't find a decent man, but if we have some insecurities within ourselves, we have some things that we need to deal with, a lot of times we don't necessarily benefit the strong black woman. And so, for example, I shared this story in the blog, or in my book, the new book that's coming out.
Okay.
I'll plug the book shortly. But I shared this story in the book that one night, me and my friend, we went to a club for a friend's birthday party. She was dancing on the floor and dancing. I sat down. I was tired after a while, and I sat down talking business because I'm always in mogul mode.
Always Mogul Up.
Always in mogul mode. So I was talking business. She was on the floor about another hour or so, and the guys were coming around her and asking her about her drink. She just pushed away and danced the night away. But at the end of the night, she came to me and she said, "Mr. Ballatt, I'm very impressed." I said, "With what?" She said, "You let me dance all night long. You didn't pull me off the dance floor. You didn't tell me to stop dancing. Now, when I was sitting in the chair. My mind was bugging." But in that moment, what I realized was I couldn't stop her from doing something she loved to do, and that she was doing long before she met me.
So you didn't find that disrespectful?
No, because she wasn't being disrespectful.
Okay.
She was just doing what she loved to do.
Okay.
She wasn't on anybody. She was by herself in the corner. And so I had a moment where, I felt like pulling her off the dance floor.
Okay.
And I said, that's where we lose the relationship.
Because then you become a little bit too controlling.
Yes, and then you could be a strong black woman, you could love me to death, but you don't want to deal with them little insecurities.
No.
So now the next time you go out, you're going to leave me at home.
Yeah.
And so that's the premise of the book. Different things that we can do as men when the woman is not being disrespectful. To build up ourselves and to complement her strength as opposed to take away her strength.
It's so funny you mentioned that. I was dating a guy, and I wanted to go to Trinidad for Carnival. You know, I'm Jamaican. We dance, we wine as a part of my tradition. And because of his insecurities, like I said, like you were talking about, I didn't want to go with him. It's like I'm not bring sand to the beach kind of situation. And because I knew he wasn't, because I knew how he was with his personality, I knew that wasn't something that was good for him. So he had talked about going to Mardi Gras. And girls are going to be showing their breasts, getting their beads. I said, wonderful. It's about the same time of the year. Why don't you go to Mardi Gras with your boys, and I'm going to go to Trinidad with my girls. He blew up. Needless to say, that was the end of that relationship really quick.
Exactly.
Because I can't deal with that. I can't feel stifled.
Exactly. And the bottom line in that was what? He was insecure to let you out of his sight. And it doesn't make him a bad guy.
No, definitely not.
That you don't want to deal with.
Exactly. Maybe for another woman, that would be okay, but it wasn't something for this woman. So today I've been talking about strong, independent women all day, just getting everybody all amped up for what we're going to do today. Okay. And I'm going to take it left for you.
Okay.
I've gotten some complaints from women.
Okay.
They are sick and tired of being called strong, independent women now. They don't want to hear that. They don't call us strong. It's not a compliment anymore, because every Bocrisha, every Shaniqua, every Shanae in the hood is talking about, I'm strong. I don't need no man. I'm strong. I'm good. I take care of my. I don't need you for nothing. And that really, to me, was never what a strong woman was. Anyway, that's something completely different. That's showboating. That's ratchetness. Right. But now, what do we do? Do we stop giving them the compliment of strength?
I don't think. In the blog, I've gotten quite a few women that have said the same thing. The term "strong black woman" is derogatory at this point, and Some of them I didn't answer, but one lady I did answer. And actually, what she said was after she read the blog, she saw I wasn't coming from that point of view.
Yes.
So number one. So my definition of it isn't for you to be strong, but we have to go back to where it came from.
Okay, let's talk about that.
It came because at one point in time you guys wanted your independence and you wanted to be strong.
Okay.
I think as we're evolving and men are becoming more men, I believe we're finding a balance. But listen, you don't have to do all that by yourself anymore. Now there are men who are being mature, own place, own car, own credit. Because listen, the strong black woman came because y'all wanted demands. Y'all wanted us to have our own car, our own place, credit. And so we had to step our game up. So now we're strong black men matching a strong black woman.
Beautiful.
In my sense of the word, neither one is derogatory. But we didn't define it.
Okay.
A man didn't define, oh, that's a strong black woman. It came because, and from rightly so, a lot of times it's been a single parent household. The women have to raise the kids by themselves. So to me, my mother was a strong black woman. She raised me and my brother by herself.
Okay.
And so I watched her struggle. I watched her cry. I watched her weaknesses. So it wasn't derogatory for me. So I think we can all have our own definition of it. My definition is I see your strength and I see you being strong, and so I want to be equally as strong so I can now support and take care of you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's my heart behind it. Okay. So I ain't gonna jump on board all that other stuff. I ain't even gonna do it.
I think another point that was made today is that the strong woman doesn't ever have to say that she's strong, because you'll see it in her walk, you'll see it in her talk, you'll see it in how she does things. And I believe that truthfully, because the only time I think I've ever had to assert my strength is in conversations like this. When we're having these pseudo-intellectual conversations about strong and independent women and how black women and black men should come together, that's when we talk about it. But I don't have a t-shirt, I don't have a tattoo that says strong black woman. I don't need to.
I don't have to say I'm a king, I just got to be a king.
Exactly.
And you know what, too, real quick on the strong black woman topic, sometimes as a man, I have to identify with that.
Okay.
And not even in a negative way. Like, I have to realize, for example, my friend who I wrote a lot of the book about, she's a very strong woman. Okay. Very independent. So to crack her a little bit or to get her to slow down, you have to match strength with strength.
Sure enough. Well, I like to say, steel forges steel.
Exactly. Iron sharpens. I like that. And so a lot of times, women, you don't meet men all the time on that same accord. Like you said with your Trinidad, he could have dealt with it a lot differently. He like, baby, you go. Because you come home to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Basically. Make sure you go and wild out.
I think that's a trust problem also, but that'll be a different episode. We'll talk about trust. But I keep on hearing you mention this book. Talk to me about the book. I see you have something on here.
Yeah, this is my first book.
Okay.
It's called Date Chat, The Dating Survival Guide. I wrote this 2 years ago. When I was just coming out of, I was separated for a while. It was a form of therapy. So it's called Date Chat, The Dating Survival Guide. It was a form of therapy. What I did a blog. I had my own blog at www.massagemogul.com. So this book was born from that. And what I did, I took a collection of blogs and I put it in book form. Okay. And basically, Date Chat is, we jump into relationships so fast. We go out one night, we have some drinks, we sleep together, we go together. And that's about the process that we use in America today.
Okay, that's not a good process.
It's not a good process. So that's where Date Chat comes in at. We need to talk.
We had that conversation one day, didn't
we? Yes, we did. We need to talk. We need to communicate. You need to find out where my head is. I need to find out, where your head is, and so we can complement each other. Okay. Anytime, you know this, when we involve intimacy too fast into a relationship, it goes left. Period.
I believe that, Robert.
That's my experience.
I believe that. Your feelings get all in it. Things you start letting slide that you wouldn't normally let slide. Yes. And I think I read something the other day. It's like we get upset with each other, and instead of communicating, we have makeup sex, and then try to act like everything's all good. But in the back of your mind, this dude still did this, and now I'm watching him. That red flag is raised, and we never conversated about it. We never had a communication and got to the underlying problem. And then next thing you know, boom, it blows up, and it's he's awful, he's a dog, or she's this and she's that, and breakdown of the relationship.
Because there was no time.
There was no time invested to get to know each other.
So, honestly, the older we get, the more time we need to take to talk. Because when we're a little younger, we're not as set in our ways. But when you hit that 35-year-old mark and 40-year-old mark, you getting set in your ways. And I'm not trying to move a whole bunch. We're not.
This is who I am. Take me or leave me.
And that's where the date check process comes in. Because you got to see, is this what I? You know what? Because we need to date on purpose. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with you? We need to have those conversations. Do we think good about money? Do we think, do we have the same thoughts on kids and family and vacations and holidays?
Wonderful.
And we overlook a lot of these things when we get involved in sex too fast.
What's the other book?
The other book is a business book I wrote called Mogul Up, Own Your Life.
Okay.
My motivational company is called Mogul Up, and basically Mogul Up is an acronym for just do it.
Just do it.
At the end of the day, and you know this, as entrepreneurs, we hit that wall when our finances get tight, our money gets tight, our relationship is wrong. And so one day I told myself, Robert, get up, just mogul up. Just
every day. Every day. I say that maybe 5, 6, 7 times a day. You go, my friend Star. She'll always say, shout out to Star. She'll always say, you need to put that energy elsewhere. Mogul up. So I've been learning to do that. I definitely want to take this opportunity to start letting people come and call in with any questions that they might have. The number is 202-677-5272. You can talk to Robert about any of the questions about dating a strong, independent woman and any kind of tips that you might have for dating them. And while we're waiting for those phone calls, I want to hear a code red flag story about dating the strong, independent woman.
Okay.
The number again is 202-677-5272. So tell me the story now.
You want to hear a story about me having to deal with myself? You want to hear a story about me?
Both. What you got? I want it all.
It's funny. Okay, so I just finalized my divorce.
Okay.
Recently. And so maybe
congratulations. Is that what we do? It's okay.
No, it's a sad emotional time. I'm sorry. It's a sad emotional time. I'm very. We've been separated for a while, so it's been long overdue. But I remember a conversation that I had with her about dating, and she said to me, "I don't date married men." I'm like, "Married men? I ain't been." Like, you still legally married, right?
Yeah.
Said,
that's a problem, Robert.
That's how us men get sometimes.
That's a problem.
And so she was very upfront about it. She said, so there's no titles under this. She said, just, keep it moving. We're going to be friends. I said, no problem at all. But for the first time in my life, I thought I had this unlimited freedom. And I realized in that moment I wasn't free. And so, again, another strong black woman moment, in my opinion, was she maintained her standard.
Okay.
She didn't bend, she didn't bow, didn't care what her heart said, didn't matter what her emotions said. She said, no, this is my standard, I'm not going to bend and bow. And a lot of times, it's those little things that you'll see what the man is made of.
True enough.
We're either going to step our game up or we're going to back away.
True enough.
And I'm like, oh no, we can't do this.
You heard it here. He'll step his game up or he'll back away. And, you gotta raise your standards and they'll raise to him, or that's not for you. I say that all the time. It'll be a red flag.
If he says to you, well, I got some stuff to take care of, and it becomes excuses, and he doesn't maintain his consistency.
Consistency is very important. All right, so since we didn't get any callers just yet, I do have a question here from an anonymous inboxer. And he wants to have a question about dating a woman. He says, what kind of date would you take a woman on that would be relaxing and enjoyable? It's the second date idea that he's dating this hardworking CEO woman. That's definitely a strong, independent woman right there, right? He says she's not that predictable and not too forward or aggressive. Relaxing is the theme. He wants to know what idea you would have.
Well, my full-time job is a massage therapist because my company just wants us, so I specialize in relaxation. So this one should be easy.
Yes, and I love his massages. Yes.
Well, I'm very simple and I love romance. And so if she's very simple, something that's relaxing a lot of times is an in-home dinner. Okay. But you have to do it at the table.
Second date though.
That's too intimate?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm trying to do a first date on
No, house date. First date. Come on now.
Okay. Okay, listen. Depending on how the first date went.
Okay.
Because it doesn't mean you have to be intimate.
Sure enough.
But I'm a firm believer that a woman should go to a man's house. He shouldn't be so big on rushing over into her house.
You know, I would rather him come to my house, truthfully.
You know what? It depends if she has kids.
Well, I don't have any children.
Okay.
So maybe that's
if you have kids, no home.
Because I think I'd be more comfortable in my zone than I would be in his zone.
Okay.
Not saying that I wouldn't go to his house, but I would definitely feel more comfortable in my castle.
Because in order for it to be relaxing for you, I need you to come to me.
Okay.
I don't know your house like that.
Okay. All right. I could dig that. That's a good one.
Yeah. And so something simple. You know, you don't have to do candlelight dinner. I like cutesy things, so go to Walmart, buy a little cute rug or a blanket. You know, clean out your place and sit on the floor and do an in-home picnic. Very candlelight. You can do it in the evening time. Champagne, wine, make it very sexy, very classy.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be so intimate.
Okay.
You know, and that's something I do believe that she would love and enjoy.
Look at that. We have a caller. Let's see what's going on here.
Hey, caller.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hi. You have a question for Mr. Robert or myself?
Yeah, hi, this is Michelle Talbert from They Met Online. Hi, Dina. Hi, Robert. How are you?
Hola.
Hola, this is Michelle from They Met Online. This is one of my friends in Washington, D.C. that has her own company.
What's up, Michelle?
Thank you for calling in, Michelle. What do you got for us today?
Okay, here's what I have. As Robert was just discussing, he is the Massage Mogul. He mentioned sticking to your quote-unquote standards, and I didn't fully hear him answer the question, is going home then on that first or second date, touching intimately, maybe not having sex, but is that a red flag for a guy generally?
Okay.
So, you know,
I think
where are the boundaries?
I want to make sure I have your question properly, so I'm going to use my mediator skills that they try to teach me and see if I'm any good at this. I think Michelle is asking that after your first or second date, and even though we talked about having your standards, if going home with a guy and not even having sex with him, but touching and fondling intimately, would that be a red flag for a guy if a girl did that with you?
It wouldn't be a red flag, but I wouldn't see if a girl started doing that to me. If I'm doing it to a girl, that would be a red flag to her. 'Cause that means I'm moving too fast.
Okay.
But for me personally, it wouldn't necessarily be a red flag for me. But I don't think that's appropriate for a second date. It's too fast.
That's too fast.
It's
Why?
too fast.
Why is that too fast, Robert? Talk to us, because I think that's a bit much too.
Because we start to get the emotions involved, and y'all, you know, sexual emotion and physical emotion breeds a lot of infatuation, and infatuation is very strong, and you can't tell between am I in love or am I infatuated.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, if we can leave some of the physical things out and build the communication a little bit better, I think the relationship can turn out a lot better, and you can see what you're working with.
What do you think about that answer, Michelle? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it answers my question. Can I just ask a quick follow-on then?
Yeah,
absolutely.
No problem.
Okay, great. Because I know some folks talk about the 90-day rule, etc.
The 90-day rule, you said?
A little bit more.
Yeah, I follow the 90-day rule.
Right. So it sounds to me like I don't agree with the 90-day rule, but it sounds that what Robert's saying is a little bit more organic. So I'm wondering, at what point then do you know? When is it time? Because you're saying, you know, you need to get to know each other and understand one another. At what point do you really know anyone?
Everybody's different, though. I mean, you know, it depends on the man and woman. If you know you fall in love real fast, you need to go real slow.
True enough.
If you know you can ride it out for a little while and you're looking to build, then maybe, you know, you can get physical a little bit sooner. But there are a lot of women who just, and forgive me for this, there are a lot of women that I meet and encounter through my business who just want to be loved, and so they sacrifice life and limb for a hug and a kiss.
True enough.
And then it doesn't produce a long-term relationship. So that question is kind of broad. It really is going to be based upon the individuals. If you know you fall in love real fast, you need to go real slow.
Real slow.
Yes.
So Michelle, you said you don't believe in the 90-day rule.
How come?
No, not at all.
How come?
Because I believe to me it's an arbitrary marker. I don't know that I know someone well in 90 days, but I also don't know that I know someone well in 90 hours.
True enough.
It can go either way. I've had very good relationships with early sex, and they ended well. They ended nonetheless, but they ended well. So, I just don't believe in setting an arbitrary date. I really want to know
Well, let me ask you
who they
this.
really are and not have them working toward a date.
Okay.
I don't know about this 90-day rule either, because I'm just trying to figure out, is it like the movie where you're scratching off the calendar dates and it's like, oh, this is the 90th day, let me go to Vicky's to get some new panties because I'm about to put it on him. What is this?
I think it should be a personal standard.
Okay.
I mean, for me personally, and I'm a little weird, but I wait because I want to know what's right. Because we can't keep, as adults, here's one of the challenges, we cannot keep jumping in and out of people's lives.
True enough.
Period. And a lot of times, it is the earlier physical things that we go through that cause us to get close real quick, and then we're not right for the person.
Thank you for calling in, Michelle. I appreciate your call.
No problem. Great show. Take care, guys.
Michelle, call me later.
All right. Oh, that's a good one, because I do hear about this 90-day rule, but then with this new strong independent thing, I hear that there are a lot of women that are just doing it like how men do it.
I mean,
that's kind of odd to me, because you're a man and you don't do it like first night, second night. So I
have my moments.
You had your moments.
I mean, now I'm at a different phase in life, but I have my moments.
You had your moments.
I have my moments. First night club, yeah. Well, what you going? You want?
Yeah. So that's my thing now. It's like this newfounded strength that a lot of women have. They're becoming a little bit too masculine. I read something today about I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote it, and it was in Esquire magazine, and they were talking about, even when you look at the media's portrayals of strong women, there's always something with a masculine undertone. She's very sexy. She has on these tight outfits, but she's fighting like a man. She's shooting guns like a man, and this is now telling women it's okay to be too manly, and then we lose our femininity trying to be too strong.
I totally agree. I don't think that comes from us, though. I think that comes from you guys.
You think that comes from us?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that?
Because I may be jumping the gun with this. Let me remove the African American woman out of the scene.
Okay, take that off.
Let's go to our strong white woman.
Okay.
In my experience, they've been very aggressive and dominant at portraying this very strong woman. Mm-hmm. I think we just kind of jump on the bandwagon with it.
Okay.
Most of our women are portrayed very sexy in a very different light.
Yeah.
So I don't see too many. Most of the strong black women I see on TV are the Sanaa Lathans, Halle Berrys. Mm-hmm. Those, and they're very classy. They're very sexy.
Okay.
I see. Trying not to go there.
Wow.
Right now. And so, like Hillary Clinton, beautiful woman, but when you see her, she was like a man.
Oh, so I wasn't even really talking about just the looks part. I was talking about their actions. Like they start taking on a male persona. They start acting a little bit more rough, maybe get a little bit more bass in their voice, throwing shots back, having sex on first nights, because if a guy could do it, we could do it.
But you're right. I mean, I have seen it. Again, I guess because of my profession, I don't get to see that as much. Okay. By the time, especially with my profession, by the time I see you, they're just girls. They're women. They're just women trying to take
relax.
And they're relaxing. They're just little girls in the corner playing.
All right.
So I don't get to see that so much.
Let me see if I have one more question coming in.
I think you guys are amazing, actually.
Oh, thank you.
I'm supposed to say that,
I'll pay him to say that. Okay, I have another here. He says, I spoke with a very desirable woman who is highly intelligent, accomplished, and beautiful. I promise he's not talking about me. Oh, look at this. We got another phone call coming in. Let me take that call first before I go to anything else. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? We're trying to hear you as well. Speak up for me. Barely. Barely. Hello? Barely.
Turn the speaker off. Oh, the speaker's frozen.
Yeah, I think my phone froze. Technical difficulties. Can you call us right back? Let me try to answer from the... As a matter of fact, I'll call you right back. Let's see how this works.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's better.
Hello.
Hello. Caller, how are you today?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you enjoying the show?
I am. So, I have a question.
Okay.
So, Robert.
It's for you, Robert.
Discuss how you have a man that, well, you have a woman who is used. You're calling me back again?
No.
No, that's the recording.
That's the recording or something. Turn your radio down.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you calling me back again? Okay, so here's my question. So you have a strong, independent woman or a strong woman who is used to dating a certain type of guy, and she finally meets a guy who is outside of her norm and doesn't know how to appreciate him. What advice would you give that woman?
Good question. Great. That's a really good question. What I would say is,
Robert, before you answer, I just want a little bit more clarification. What is her norm and why is he outside of it?
So her norm is, I don't know why she's outside of it, but her norm is used to, you know, I don't want to say a guy that treats her bad, but, you know, somebody that she could probably do better with. And she meets the guy who could give her, you know, everything that she probably, her heart desires and needs. However, since she's been hurt in the past, she's scared to give this new guy who is the one that she really wants and should appreciate her all. So how would you recommend, how does a guy prove to a woman or show her, you know, it's okay to put your guard down?
It's, consistency. As hard as it is, the only way for a woman to begin to drop her guard is that the man has to be consistent in all his words and in his actions, and over a period of time. Because I can tell you to trust me, and you guys know, we've said, I love you, baby, trust me, baby, blah, blah, blah. But especially if she's very guarded, it's going to be a period of time, so he's going to need to be extremely patient. Extremely patient.
Patience is key.
And be consistent. And so that the thing he does on the very first date, he needs to do it on the 100th date.
Amen.
And so it's going to be stressful, painful at some times, but it's going to be over a period of time as she learns to open up and trust him with more and more of her life. He'll win her heart. He'll win her heart. But you gotta be patient. Patience is the key, and be consistent. Both of which we struggle with in life.
Thank you for calling in, and we got 2 more minutes.
Question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have about 2 more minutes. We want to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Robert.
Thank you.
And what's your books again?
I have a new one coming out called 10 Tips on Dating a Strong Black Woman, and it's not derogatory, and it's not derogatory, so make sure you pick it up. You can find me at www.justonetouch.com and Facebook, Twitter at the Massage Mogul, all my social media handles.
And we have something coming up in October.
Yes, October 5th. We have a relationship boot camp. Dina is one of the guest presenters, and she'll be sharing her code red flag tips. I'm excited about it, and it's just to help people like the young lady on the phone to better their relationships. I'm excited about it.
So it's for couples, it's for singles?
It's for couples, singles, because it's not about couples or singles, it's about improving who we are and our character and things like that.
So it's about you.
It's about us, yes. Because if you make a better you, make a better relationship.
I like to say, my segment is going to be about recognizing your own relationship killers. What is your barriers from stopping you from being in a successful relationship? Thank you again for coming.
I appreciate it.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Next October 9th is our next episode 2. We're going to be talking about computer love. We're going to have Michelle and Ricardo from They Met Online talk about how they met online, started a relationship, and then started a business together. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. www.coderedflag.com.